Welcome to Rage Against the Mainstream, your full spectrum source for all things music, insight, and opinion. Today is February 17th, 2020. I'm Bill, and I'm joined here today with Connor and Steve.
Yo.
Hello.
So, yeah, this is the last episode we're recording in this office.
Sad day.
Yeah.
It's a
lot of good memories down here.
Oh, yeah. The cricket incident.
Oh my God!
Never
Remember
forget the
multiple
cricket
cricket incidents?
Yeah.
That
We handled
spider
that,
bite,
though.
when I tried help and look for it, that spider bite lasted on my neck for, I want to say, a solid 3 weeks. I was really nervous for a moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like when you're like,
I was
oh my
about
God.
to test your homeowner's insurance, man. I was thinking about it. I was like, yo, this shit's crazy, dude.
Well, luckily you're still here. We're all still here, and hopefully with this new move, we're in different location, different headspace. We can make even better episodes than we've been making. Tell us what you think. Have we been on par? Have we been better than you expected? Get us. Until then, you guys found anything new or interesting this week?
Okay, I got the Italian alternative rock band from Bologna, Italy, Red Mishima. I just checked out their recently released self-titled release. The track I'd have to go with to for someone to check out as a first listener would have to be Oblivion.
Nice.
A little bit of like a shoegazy sound.
Yeah.
A little bit maybe heavier though.
That's awesome. It's not really new, but it's interesting, and if you never heard it before, it's something you should definitely get into. Off the release from last year, Mark Morton's solo album.
Oh, yeah,
That song "Cross Off" with Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
That fucking
They
song
have a
kicked
song.
ass.
Oh, it's
It was right
little
before he
old.
died.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. It's like Diet Lamb of God. Or
Yeah,
Lamb
pretty
of God
much.
Zero
Well, it's funny
sugar.
because, when someone sent that to me, before they had sent it, they were assuming it was going to be like a heavy album, and it's obviously not the case in this specific realm of.
It just shows you
Lamb of God offspring.
It shows you I guess the what's the word I'm looking for here? The not really creativeness, but almost like the transcendency of Mark Morton.
Yeah.
Like he's not strictly pigeonholed
Not
to
one-dimensional.
Lamb of God.
Yeah,
Exactly. And Cross Off is a perfect thing. It's got like the perfect mix of like rock, metal, and if you're a fan of Lamb of God or Chester Bennington, this is definitely a listen.
Yep. Can agree there.
Steve-O.
So I'm a fan of the band Venom. Originated out of the new wave of British heavy metal.
Mhm.
They released the album most known as black metal.
Sparked a lot of followers.
Pretty much created Slayer.
Yep.
Yeah, but they released an album in 2018 that I never really gave a shot, and I gave it a shot. The album itself is called Storm the Gates. The album's horrible.
Is it?
It's bad. It's really, really bad.
You're
So is this-
recommending it though?
I'm not recommending it. This is my new and interesting, and I'm going to take more of an interesting
like a
take.
deterrent?
bad?
Like, don't listen to this.
Yeah, well, it's not a don't listen to it. It's the same thing when we talk about, like, for instance, Ozzy Osbourne putting out an album that's probably not going to be very good.
Yeah.
Comes out in a few days. But this album is like, if you're a fan of Venom, like if you listen to Welcome to Hell, if you listen to obviously, black metal, and then you just see they progress in a way where they got super fucking weird, super polished. Like it's not good. It's just not good. Even the songs themselves just aren't good. It has nothing to do with the recording style. It's just they're just not good.
Yeah.
I'm very upset about this. But yeah, I listened to the whole fucking thing. Just like I went and saw Star Wars and paid a heavy amount of money to something that I wish I would have saw on the fucking Fire Stick. But either way.
Water Twig.
Yeah, Water Twig. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not paying my money for that. Is it if it's even still in theaters?
Yeah, so in the same sense of that movie that we'll watch on the Water Twig, Venom's new album, Storm the Gates, if you can get it for free, I would recommend listening to it just to have the same, like, wow, I can't believe what happened here. Yeah.
Perfect.
On this day in music history.
1960, after a string of hits on Cadence Records, the Everly Brothers signed a 10-year contract with Warner Brothers, which is reported at $1 million, a number likely inflated for publicity purposes.
Huh.
Yeah, that's
10
weird.
years for $1 million.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
That's
100
weak.
$100,000 a year in 1960 was pretty solid. pretty
it's
fucking
still weak
solid.
though.
That's like-
Damn. Yeah, I guess in 1960s money, yeah.
there's only 2 Everly Brothers, I think, right?
Yeah, I would technically be
So that's
okay
like
with
50
that.
grand a year.
I
I'd
mean,
be down. That's
It's
like
a livable salary.
very
In 19,
livable.
yeah. But but
Comfortable.
think about 10 years because now you're progressing on 50K a
Well-
year for 10
Well,
years.
I guess there has
Well-
to be royalties and points.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
The whole point of those contracts is you make the money that they lent you back, that 10 million.
Yeah.
You make that money back with your sales, and once you start going over what they lent you, then you start getting paid again. Yeah.
Eh.
Yeah.
1969, Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash record some duets in Nashville with "Girl from the North Country," eventually ending up on Dylan's Nashville Skyline album, for which Cash writes liner notes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm surprised though they had a session together and only birthed one usable
Yeah,
track.
that's very
Yeah.
very strange.
Anyway, I could see them not really getting along.
I could see that.
I could see like Johnny Cash not really.
Yeah, because
Too
Johnny
sold
Cash
on
was
Bob
more
Dylan.
like
He's more of a straightforward.
yeah, and
fella.
Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
1972, Pink Floyd perform Eclipse at the Rainbow Theatre in London. A year later, this music becomes the Dark Side of the Moon album. You guys ever heard of that
Yeah,
one?
of course. No,
Sarcastic.
I mean, I've heard of Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, though.
Is that
did that have the hit song "Animals" on it?
I think it had.
is that another brick in the wall?
Was that was yeah?
I think it had Ziggy Stardust on it.
Okay.
yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was a pretty famous album in its time, though.
There's like I remember the album cover. I think has a picture of like a trapezoid or something on it.
It was a circle.
I think it was a parallelogram.
Parallelogram.
Yeah,
There
I'm
we
pretty
go.
Sure it was.
Yeah.
Too. Either way, good song. Good song, Eclipse. I've heard that. Didn't know it was on that album though.
But anyway, 1973, Free play their final live gig in Hollywood, Florida, as Simon Kirke and Paul Rogers leave to form Bad Company.
I can't deny.
I was never a fan of Bad Company.
I know
or
we
Free.
talked about this, which is weird because like between Straight Shooter and the self-titled, those are 2 really good albums, man.
Just not a fan, man.
Like Free, I never really dove into their discography really, but
Alright.
yeah, I mean, everyone knows that. But I'm saying like I mean the self-titled and Straight Shooter, dude.
Just not a fan, man.
Like even the song Bad Company, man.
Down,
Oh, man.
Feel like
Making love.
Wow.
I prefer the Kid Rock version.
I know Bill prefers the Five Finger Death Punch version of Bad Company as well.
No, I don't prefer it. I just think that it gets a lot of fucking hate for no reason.
I can't stand it.
Living in the mainstream here at Rage Against the Mainstream.
Listen, this is what
If it
makes-
wasn't featured on 93.3, I don't fucking listen.
Nah, that's not the case. I do like a lot of not mainstream things.
No, we're not gonna go that far. I was just kidding. I was obviously.
I was gonna say I stick up for some
I'm
mainstream
I'm
things.
just kind of like intrigued because Connor, you listen to a lot of good stuff, and like the fact that Straight Shooter. Give Straight Shooter an honest listen,
Maybe.
and then come.
I don't
back
know,
to
man.
me.
I just don't like Paul Rogers' voice, really.
Oh.
Like, I don't like their
Yeah,
style.
I think
Like,
that's what turns me off from
That's
Paul
the best
Rogers.
part.
Really.
for me, man.
Whatever.
I've given a Bad Company a lot of chances over the years.
Whatever. Let's talk about the best-selling album of all time.
1976, the Eagles released their greatest hits, a collection of 10 songs from their first 4 albums. For a while, it is certified as the top-selling album in U.S. history, a status which it has recently returned to
Yes.
after being edged out by Thriller in the
Would you say it was earlier? 38 million.
38 million. in
Two
the US.
Thrillers, 33.
But see, Thriller sold more worldwide.
Yeah.
I think Thriller sold like 44, 45 million copies worldwide, and the Eagles have sold 41 million worldwide.
Okay.
So,
With the majority of the sales being in the United States.
It's funny,
obviously.
last week-
the Eagles rely way like the Eagles sold 38 million worldwide and have a total of 41. So only 3 million copies outside of the U.S. were sold.
Yeah.
And with Thriller, it's 33 in the U.S. and it sold 45. So it had 12 million copies out of the
Yeah.
United States.
just want to
too.
bring up too because we're talking about the Eagles. We didn't really bring them up last week.
What,
Talking
as a
about
supergroup?
yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Like Don Henley, Joe Walsh. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was another group of
Came
musicians.
from
Mountain.
yeah,
No.
what's
Was it Mountain?
Joe Walsh's old band called?
Funk 49 or
That's
something.
the song, yeah.
Well, yeah, what are they? Who was the band though?
Shit.
Either way, we don't have to get too in-depth with that. But yeah, this album, it's cool. This is one of those greatest hits albums that I actually really enjoy almost just like as an album because it's only 10 songs. Like you don't get like those 44 songs like long because, compilation of 4 albums and you narrowed it down to a 10-song album.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because it's a good listen. It's an easy...
James Gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. But yeah, I hate the Eagles, but I'm sure that's a decent little listen.
So you're telling me you're not going to live it up at the Hotel California?
Nah, I can't. That's the song that really. You
want
to talk about the topic later?
When you're on Route 55, which lane do you drive in?
Both. If I'm passing,
not in the fast lane.
Not in the fast lane.
If I'm passing, I use
You're not
the
in the
left
fast lane.
And if I'm chilling, I'm in the right
Life
lane.
in the fast lane.
Yeah, that song's all right.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think of another one here that I don't mind, but it's kind of difficult.
Either way.
Yeah. I know there's another one, but I can't think of it. 1997, ABC airs Hey Hey, It's the Monkees, a 1-hour comedy special written and directed by original Monkey Mike Nesmith. From their 1960s pad, the group recalls their old shenanigans and sings a medley of their classic hits. Yeah, that's... We're the only ones talking about that this year. You heard it here. 2004.
Is that too not mainstream for you, Steve?
It's like too obscure mainstream.
That's so perfect.
Mainstream obscura. 2004, The Darkness win Brit Awards for Best British Group, Best British Rock Act, and Best British Album for Permission to Land.
Okay.
That's a good album.
I remember when that...
for anyone to have thought that they were going to become some legacy act or anything.
Yeah, that was
they
a
weren't
little
going to go too far beyond that single.
Yeah, that's like the perfect like one-hit wonder album, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I mean, because they fell off the face of the goddamn earth.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
2005, with Tommy Lee back in the band for the first time in 5 years, Motley Crue begin their Red, White, and Crew tour in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's a circus theme with clowns, fire eaters, and acrobats. For his drum solo, Tommy Lee and his rig go up on a trapeze and he performs 30 feet in the air. Nothing new.
So
Tommy Lee.
fucking cool. Whoa. I can't drum well, so I'm going to get on a trapeze.
Motley
and
Crue, they're just
people.
always
Whoa.
milking that meal ticket where it's like, yeah, we're done. And
Yeah.
3
Here we
years
come
later, it's
back.
like,
Red,
whoops,
White,
one
and
more
Crew.
tour.
Welcome to
Whoops,
Crew
we lost the
Fest.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, we lit it on fire. We tore it up.
They keep
That-
throwing
that
Vince
one
Neil
song
out
from
there
05
thinking they're
was
going to get a
alright,
good
though.
performance out of them. Jesus Christ.
The
The best thing about it is the recordings that people get from these shows, and I'm able to look and like, Jesus Christ, like I would rather go see Star Wars 10 more
Dude,
times.
that video,
Fuck.
that video of the fucking subtitles is so funny. Like it always gets me.
Ah,
Boop,
yeah.
beep, bop, round the house.
Oh, God, so bad. So bad.
2015, Because I Got High singer Afro Man is arrested for assault after punching a female fan who attempts to dance with him on stage at a show in Biloxi, Mississippi. Afro Man, who doesn't see the woman until he turns around to clock her, blames his anxiety and says that he hadn't had time to take his medication before he went on stage.
I'll take extremely unnecessary excuses for 500, Alex.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Like if you're
No,
on stage and you got someone rushing you and you don't realize
That's
it,
true.
and then all of a sudden you turn around, someone's there. Like
Yeah,
there's
but
going to be reflexes. Like
that's
you have all-
exactly what I would have came out to say. Like
If
I would have
only
used the
Afro Man was on
rationale.
stage.
Yeah,
when
but
Nathan Gale
if he has
stormed.
increased anxiety, that's going to heighten that response.
Of course, but at the same time, like you didn't have time to take like your medication. Like you've seen some of these shows, like you're going out there to perform. I mean, there's obviously a point in time where they're going to, make sure you're absolutely ready to go up there. I mean, Afro
Well-
Man's not getting like the Rolling Stones up and ready for a show.
Well, I
but
was
at
going
the
to
same
say,
time,
let's be real for a second. He's not. It's Afro Man, dude.
Yeah.
He ain't playing like the fucking Wells Fargo
Yeah,
Center.
it's probably
He's
places with
playing
low
TLA at
security
best.
and stuff. you know
But
what
dude,
I mean?
bottom line is
He's
he's
playing boot
on.
and saddle at
Here's the
best.
thing, though. Bottom line, he's on anti-anxiety medication. Full
Yeah.
disclosure, as am I. I remember to take my medication at every single time, especially like if in school and stuff. If I have a public speaking event, I might, take it a little bit early so I'm good to go by the time the moment happens. That's like something I'm always keeping in the back of my mind. But I wouldn't blame the heightened anxiety, because I'm pretty sure, again, natural reaction. I don't think he needed to go to that extent. I think that was like a safe route to say that. But yeah, any performer, if somebody's up there and you're rushing you, I mean, would probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
Except Fred Durst, because Fred Durst almost got drop kicked at the BB&C, and he kind of just
Yeah, well, he almost got drop kicked by fucking Silent J from fucking Insane Clown Posse.
yeah.
I mean, any little bit of street cred that he had would have been fucking gone
Jesus
if he would have
Christ.
fucking landed that shit and Fred Durst went
Oh
down.
my god, I watch it every time.
What
I'm
a
like,
bitch.
damn it! I seen Fred Durst get his shit kicked in right on the stage in Camden.
So I guess you could say in this little bit of music history that Afro Man didn't get high that day because he didn't get
He did
high.
the total opposite.
Yeah.
He stayed sober to a point of fault that day.
It's like I just said, like imagine if
Never
Afro Man
smart.
Never.
imagine if Afro Man was on stage with Damage Plan when Nathan Gale came up. We'd still have Dimebag. Music news. Today in music news, February 17th, 2020. First thing we have here is South by Southwest Film Festival is going to premiere Spike Jonze's Beastie Boys story. Filmmaker touts it as a live documentary experience. He shot the documentary last April over a handful of performances in Brooklyn, in which Mike Diamond and Adam tell a story about their group. Apple TV Plus announced that it had acquired the film with plans for a limited IMAX theatrical release in early April before it begins streaming later that month. The South by Southwest festival runs from March 13th to the 22nd. If this bitch hits IMAX, we got to go.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys in IMAX.
Well, I mean,
Could you
if it was
imagine?
yeah.
Check it out.
It was acquired by Apple TV Plus. So I mean, it'll probably come out on Apple TV. See, this is the thing I hate about streaming networks, because then if
You
it
pay for one
it goes
thing and it comes
because
on another.
like Becky has Apple TV, my sister has Netflix and Hulu. Like my friend has I mean, I'm
So you're
using
set.
yeah, you know what I mean. I am, but the thing about Apple TV is it's a lot harder. You actually have to buy the device.
Yeah, you have to buy the box.
Yeah, and that's what sucks. It's not just
Some
a streaming
horseshit.
app. Yeah, so I mean, it's like, see, this is where I think streaming networks, even with like the Disney Plus thing, I mean, that gives you the opportunity for streaming, but that's like another account you have to own.
Maybe that fabled water twig will have it.
Yeah, I would definitely probably wait for the water twig availability. The IMAX, though, yeah, like you mentioned,
if
that
it
would
comes
be
to
an-
IMAX around us, we
that's-
got to go.
That's an experience I'm worth paying a okay amount of money on. I would say.
Yeah, well, I think a normal IMAX ticket's like $15.
I don't know about that.
Not anymore,
Really?
brother.
Yeah, I don't think. When was the last time you were at the movies,
Maybe
my
for
friend?
fucking Avatar.
Shit.
I-
Fucking
What,
2009.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the last IMAX.
Yeah,
film
dude, I'm
saw.
gonna tell you right now, it was like $15
It's like-
just to go see Star Wars in a regular theater. Adult ticket, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably like $25 for IMAX now.
Yeah.
Damn, that's fucked
Maybe
up.
more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd pay money to see the Beastie
That's what I'm
Boys
saying. Like,
in
I would.
IMAX,
That's
though.
why I said an okay amount of money. I mean, $25 tops probably.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Last movie I saw on IMAX was Jurassic World, the first one.
the first
That
one.
was in like
Okay.
It's good.
2013 or
The
something.
last movie I saw on IMAX was when I went to the Franklin Museum and I saw a Viking documentary, very low budget, on IMAX. It's so awesome.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Speaking of cut rate here, 2020's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees were announced. I say this cut rate because it's a bunch of fucking bullshit. It was announced 35th annual class of inductees honoring 6 musical acts as Depeche Mode, the Doobie Brothers, Whitney Houston, 9 Inch Nails, Notorious B.I.G., and T-Rex.
Okay,
For fucking Doobie Brothers to get in before Soundgarden
Let's
is an
hold on.
atrocity.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is what I want you to mention. Just mention the acts that were snubbed this year. That's the important part.
Pat Benatar, Dave Matthews Band, Judas Priest, Kraftwerk, MC5, Motorhead, Rufus featuring Shaka Khan, Todd Rundgren, Soundgarden, and Thin Lizzy.
Listen to what?
Soundgarden,
Judas
like,
Priest.
Whitney Houston, I can't even get that mad at because she
No.
had like a voice of the century.
Notorious B.I.G.
But her
of course.
body
Yeah.
of work is not as good as
Biggie-
Soundgarden.
Biggie, I
by
totally-
any extension of the
I mean, even
imagination.
Depeche Mode
Dude,
to an extent.
9 Inch Nails over Soundgarden.
Depeche Mode, I can
Yeah.
understand because they were groundbreaking
9 Inch Nails.
and they were earlier than Soundgarden. Like
But
they
9
probably
Inch
feel like they have
Nails-
time for Soundgarden.
9 Inch Nails though over Soundgarden.
Yeah,
That's concerning. That's weird.
that's a little.
I mean,
9 Inch Nails is they
They were groundbreaking for the time.
they were
but
groundbreaking.
I don't think they were more groundbreaking than Soundgarden, though.
See, they
No.
might even be, but they just don't have the the body of work that Soundgarden has. Like Soundgarden has like 3 albums that you can listen to front to back. There's not one Nine Inch Nails album I don't skip
No.
songs on.
But here's
Maybe
the fucked up
Broken,
part,
the 5
though.
song EP.
This isn't even the first year that Soundgarden was eligible for this.
Yeah, exactly. They've been
Yeah.
eligible since before Nirvana.
Exactly.
Well, even and like you go into like the world of like metal, Judas Priest. I mean, think about what Judas
Oh my
Priest
God,
accomplished
man.
and how many bands came from Judas Priest.
it's fucked
What
up.
they started. I mean, like Rock-a-Rolla came out in like early 70s.
It's
their
fucked
first
up.
album?
I don't agree with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame at all. I feel like it's all a fucking scam, and like that's it. I mean, just the. I mean, even the Doobie Brothers. It took fucking this long to get inducted.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with the Doobie Brothers was that they were kind of like a pop act. Like they weren't
Yeah.
like cutting edge ever. Like they were never thought of as that. Like
Mhm.
they were like middle of the road rock. Like
I
for them
mean-
to get in, it's honestly just probably because of the involvement of the guy from Steely Dan who played with them.
Yeah,
And Steely Dan's like really highly regarded.
I mean, obviously, like Pat Benatar, Dave Matthews Band, Judas Priest should definitely have been
Pat
highly
Benatar
considered.
fans can shut the hell up considering Soundgarden's not in yet.
I mean,
Like,
Yeah.
even Kraftwerk, MC5, Motorhead,
yeah, for Doobie Brothers to get in before Kraftwerk is that's a travesty.
I mean, Thin Lizzy kind of they're kind of teetering on that line, but definitely Soundgarden should have made it this year, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thin Lizzy, they don't have a lot of hits. That's the
No.
thing.
But they also had a very short-lived career.
Yeah, Thin
But
Lizzy.
their albums are good.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Thin Lizzy, like
They
Jailbreak,
should've
even the
been
Live and
huge.
Dangerous
Yeah.
album. Yeah.
Yup.
But I agree with them getting him at some point, but just for this ballad alone, like even Motorhead, great line of work, especially for like what they did in that sense of like that hard
Mhm.
rock punk metal. Like they combined a lot of efforts and the consistency, and obviously with Lemmy dying. But yeah, I mean, they're not under the same scale at the moment. Like between Soundgarden and Judas Priest, based on body of work and based on impact, they're literally the only artist is Whitney Houston that I can see that would really trump them if you really put it like
Yeah.
tick for tack. But yeah, none of those other artists kind of stand up to those, especially like, you know, Soundgarden, Judas Priest.
For the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the way that their fucked up system works, it's going to be to the point where fucking Post Malone is going to be in there before Ozzy Osbourne
Yeah,
as a solo artist.
yeah,
I know
that-
he's in there for Black Sabbath,
Of course.
but they're going to have to consider Ozzy as a solo
Solo
artist. I mean, his line of work.
Ozzy's not in yet by himself?
No, Black Sabbath is.
That's some bullshit.
Exactly.
Like
Like you're
you're gonna
inducting
put the Doobie Brothers in before Ozzy. Like I'm sorry I keep ripping up the Doobie Brothers, but like I don't really have a problem with Depeche Mode, Whitney Houston, Nine Inch Nails, Biggie, and T-Rex. Even them, that's like they
Yeah.
were great and
That's
everything,
pushing it,
but
yeah,
they're
that's
pushing it,
pushing
putting
it.
them in before Soundgarden. Like I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I know T-Rex is a lot older.
You can really say though, on a grand scheme of
They
things,
really didn't inspire that much.
No, no,
like
no.
glam rock was a short-lived.
yeah.
Yep.
Like they
Yeah.
inspired like 6 bands that got big.
Exactly.
Like maybe.
and one of
Yeah.
them was Motley Crue.
And like
Yeah.
I'm sure Van
Yeah.
Halen like T-Rex. Like
I haven't heard anything with the influence of T-Rex on Van Halen, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
David Bowie probably liked them and took inspiration from them after he was already going.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean that one album is really good. I forget what it's called, but
I know
I
what
know
album you're talking about.
that one's really good. Jeff made me listen to that a bunch, but it doesn't touch Super Unknown.
Nope. Speaking of past Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, you can now hear Cream's previously unreleased version of Crossroads from the 1968 farewell tour. Just 1 month before Cream wrapped up their original run with a historic show at London's Royal Albert Hall on November 26, 1968, they performed at the International Sports Arena in San Diego. A tape of that show has sat in the vault for the past 52 years, but it's finally released in full on the 4-disc box set Goodbye Tour Live 1968 that came out, what was it, 10 days ago, February 7th. The box set also contains recordings of the shows taped in Oakland on October 4th, 1968, and Los Angeles, October 19th, 1968, along with the grand finale in London. There are 36 tracks in total, and 29 have never been released on CD. The Royal Albert Hall show was filmed and has been released on DVD, though the sound has been remastered for this release.
I want it.
Yeah.
I fucking love Cream, dude. I really do. They're just
But do you think
One of
that
those
they
I was
have a
never
good
that crazy about
36
Cream.
tracks?
yeah. This is the thing about Cream. I was never crazy about Cream until I watched the Beware Mr. Baker documentary and I saw live performances, especially this show alone. Listen to it, and
I mean, I'm not.
They're just-
I'm
they're
not
just that
denying,
good.
I mean, I'm not denying the the talent
Yeah.
and whatever of Cream, but what I'm saying is, do you think there's really 36 worthwhile tracks? To
no,
be able to
absolutely
buy
not.
this at?
Absolutely not. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't want it in the sense that I would spend decent money for it. It's just it's one of those things where again I'm a huge proponent for like live shows, and I actually have the reunion show that they did at Royal Albert Hall. I forget, was it 2004? I forget when it was, the last show that they ever did together. But yeah, I mean, no, it's not worth the 36 tracks. But just the historic concept, the historic value, and their performance alone at this show, it's just one of those things, man, where we talk about like artists that you heard for the first time or moments that you could have been a part of. Like this is one of those shows where it's like this is history, man. These guys pretty much started a lot of what you heard coming out of that scene in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah. That's true. But I guess we can use Cream as a segue into our main topic, because there is one particular Cream song that I believe I've heard more than any other song.
Cream?
Yeah, Cream.
What, Sunshine of Your Love?
Yeah.
See, I feel like that doesn't get played on the radio.
Dude,
that
I've
much.
heard that more than any other Eric Clapton song ever.
I feel like they play like Knocking on Heaven's Door.
No,
and,
I've heard. Yeah, I've definitely heard. No,
White Room.
I know.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
I've heard
Played way
Cocaine definitely more,
Wonderful Tonight.
which is ironic. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tears
Lay
in
Down
Heaven,
Sally. I've heard a lot.
Layla.
Layla.
Lay Down
Yeah.
Sally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like Sunshine of Your Love, I feel like I've heard that song like way more times than
So
I've ever
just to
wanted
clarify, though, for this main segment, what you're trying to establish, what like most overplayed songs?
most overplayed songs.
Oh, all
A
right.
bunch of them.
Yeah. There's quite a few.
All right, so I mean, like most things we do here at our ATMP, I think Bill, you start off maybe if you want to rattle off a couple few, we'll talk, and then we'll come to a consensus of like the most. I don't want to say like I think we should come to a consensus like our most like the one song you'll hear and you'll turn it off because it just annoys you that bad.
Exactly. All right, so I got a few here. One of them, and I think this will be a general consensus on this one, is Van Halen's Jump.
Okay,
Yeah, it definitely gets
that
still played quite a bit to this
One
day.
of the weakest songs in their whole catalog.
I bring this song up all the time for
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I dislike Van Halen.
Overplayed.
Can't
Entirely
fucking
overplayed.
stand it, dude.
Probably another one that is going to be a general consensus is Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
We'll
Yeah,
go back to that because that's probably going to be my most hated one.
Most hated.
Yeah, it's funny.
I
'cause
love that song, and I hate Journey.
Here's the thing,
I
though.
love the song, but I hear it entirely too
I think
much.
The Sopranos just made it timeless for me. Like it never bothers me.
Oh,
'cause
the
I just
very-
always
yeah,
come
the
back to
very
that
end.
last scene.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing, though.
You
I
get
think
all
it's
fucking teary-eyed.
But here's the
Tony.
problem. I already had an issue with the song before that last episode of The Sopranos. So that couldn't even like revive it for me. Like that's how much I can't stand this song anymore. And it's funny, the reason why I was going to talk about bringing it back up because I have an aunt who lives in Virginia. It was like one of our first episodes, couple episodes she was listening to it. And we mentioned how we like the Beatles overrated, and I think I went on a rant somewhere about not liking Journey. She texted me and she was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Like you don't like Journey?" And like we had this huge argument because my aunt's like in her mid 50s, and obviously grew up in that time when Journey, you love Journey and Foreigner, like that was just standard, But me, I just can't defend it. I mean, like
Journey's one of those household bands, though.
They're the bar band. They're like that fucking just Bon Jovi sing along, boring.
Yeah, I hate every
repetitive.
other Journey song.
Dude.
I don't like their sound, but Don't Stop Believing in The
Faithful
Sopranos
Tonight
just
or
gets
whatever.
me.
Yeah, and like I think that's the difference because I can understand how that song would be potentially like definitely nostalgic in that view, but like I said, I think that song was so ruined for me by the time that I saw it at the end of that episode. It like the end of The Sopranos, first of all, frustrated me in the beginning, and then I learned to appreciate it. But to this day, it's like, God damn it! Why couldn't they pick the better song?
Well, I got another Journey one.
What?
Separate Ways.
Someday love will find
Oh, yeah.
Break
those chains that bind you.
Any way you want it.
Yeah, any way you want it.
Oh,
my God.
that's okay. That's worse. I could say that's worse. I
Yeah.
forgot about that's way worse.
Any way you want it.
Because there's
That's
not
the
a
way
single
you
part.
need it,
There's not a
any way
part of
you
that song
want
I
it.
enjoy, dude.
She loves to dance. She loves to sing. She likes many things all night. Yeah.
Okay. Or that's too much. But that's the sad thing when we talk about these songs, like they're so overplayed that like I'm never gonna deny like I don't know the lyrics. I don't, it's not a matter
It's
of
like
the
we
song
said
not.
before.
Yeah.
They do their job.
We can respect the fact they created something that'll be memorable. I want to mention one that Bill that you didn't really put on here.
I've got a bunch.
Yeah, I know. Before I just want to mention one because we went on a whole journey rant again. I apologize to my Aunt Karen if she listens to this. She'll probably fucking say something to me, but that's just is what it is here. But mine, and this is probably the one song like I'll listen to classic radio before I'll listen to just contemporary jazz or EDM before I listen to this in its entirety, which is "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi.
Oh God,
I can't stand Bon Jovi.
I just can't stand it, dude. It's like that combination if like Journey was a hair metal band to the point where it's like it's annoying.
It's
It's like an earwig. It like gets in there and it fucking just irritates
You give Love a
me.
bad name, like
Everything.
every hit
Wanted,
by Bon
Dead or
Jovi.
Alive,
Yeah.
dude.
it's just unfortunate though,
I can't even
because
even Have a Nice Day way later on. That shit got the beat out of it.
have a nice day.
You're like,
I will say
do
this
you
though.
work at Walmart now? You're like the guy who checks the receipt, John.
I will say this though. Bon Jovi was actually at the school that I was attending on going to before I decided to go to bowling school in Wichita, Kansas, but Rutgers Newark up in North Jersey. Bon Jovi and his wife, like they're always there doing philanthropy work, and they opened up a food bank there, which was really cool.
Yeah.
They have an opportunity for students that like don't have money for food and stuff. They have a food bank, and they have like a whole soul kitchen pretty much now. So I can respect that, and that's why I say like when it comes to these artists, like I never hate them to the point of like as a person, but just music wise. Fuck Bon Jovi. Like I will like the music.
Terrible.
They're like the U2 of like his genre. Like they're
way worse
fucking.
than you too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying though. But I can classify it because I
hate you too.
I don't know, dude. If I had to pick between U2 and Bon Jovi, like if I was like in a fucking
Bon Jovi might be my least favorite band of all time.
But this way, if
Really?
I was in a POW camp and I had to listen to Bon Jovi songs on repeat or U2 songs on repeat as my form of torture, yeah, I'd probably have to pick U2, which is a very giant step for me. Because I really hate fucking U2 as well. It goes beyond the whole Apple thing. It's the music in general. But Bon Jovi, dude, there's not a single song out there I'm like, all right, this brings back some memories. Let me fucking, let this ride for a little bit.
See, it's super unfortunate though because Richie Sambora is an incredible guitar player, and it just sucks that he was in a band like that. I mean,
Limited
don't get
to
me
that
wrong,
style.
he does have some cool ass riffs in Bon Jovi. Like the actual guitar riff in "Living on a Prayer" is pretty cool.
See, I don't even think that.
And his solos are ridiculous. Actually, honestly, my favorite Sambora guitar line is probably from fucking I'm drawing a fucking brain
Wanted?
fart here. No, Wanted Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
The acoustic 12-string intro.
Yeah, that's cool. I can understand that, but here's
some
the
of
problem.
the pieces aren't bad, but the whole
Yeah.
product is.
But here's
always
the
a bunch of
problem.
The
If you-
bullshit.
riffs are cool.
But also,
Sometimes.
too, like,
It.
as good as that is, you could take all of that away and you could still go and find out maybe 50 other guitars in that era that were just as good,
Yeah.
if not better.
Like I
playing
showed you
better
Red Beach
music.
earlier.
That's what I'm saying. I would even get with that. I would get with Cinderella any day
Yeah.
before Bon Jovi. Like, it's just not.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like Cinderella and Bon Jovi, they came out around the same time and in the same area. They're both Philadelphia bands.
Yeah.
And I feel like Bon Jovi took off, but if the roles were reversed, I feel like Bon Jovi probably would have ended
Yeah.
if Cinderella would have made it up to that plateau.
Yeah, if they never like broke through. And I hate what's the difference maker in that, because like it's just it sucks because Bon Jovi's music doesn't deserve what
Yeah.
it got, in my opinion.
And in my opinion, I think Cinderella is a way better band than Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
I feel like even in songwriting too.
All right, not to narrow in too much on this
Yeah,
particular
we got
video. We're really,
Bon
yeah.
Jovi
So Connor, I mean, I know you
Fuck
got a
Bon
huge list.
Jovi.
I want
Yeah, I'm
Connor
just
just
gonna-
rattle them off,
yeah, I'm
and
just
we'll
gonna start
yeah.
ratting.
All right, how
All
about
right.
we give seals of approval that we can enjoy? Like, 'cause
Yeah,
like
yeah,
when we
yeah.
mentioned like
Good.
Hunger Strike,
Yeah.
Overplayed, but I can listen to
I
it
can
every
approve
time.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so
All
let's,
right. Jack and Diane by John Cougar.
I approve.
Yeah, I approve that too.
Does it
Absolutely.
get not played way too much though?
Yeah. It does
Absolutely.
get
No, I'll
entirely
agree
too
with.
much.
All right, so we'll say definitely definitely
yeah.
overplayed, approve, and disapprove. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Okay. Hey there, Delilah.
Way overplayed.
Way, and I disapprove.
Disapprove.
Yeah,
Yeah.
disapprove.
Yeah.
All right.
Sucks.
Uptown Funk and Billionaire by Bruno Mars.
Definitely
Both songs.
100% overplayed, and I fucking can't stand.
Yeah, I
Uptown
can't
Funk.
stand Bruno
Uptown Funk,
Mars.
go give it to you. Oh,
I like
God.
Billionaire. I like Billionaire.
I can't stand
Billionaire's
either of
cool.
them.
The well bred to prepare
Nah.
for when I'm a billionaire.
Nah, can't do it.
I don't know.
Bad message.
I like Bruno.
Uh,
I can fuck with Bruno.
How
He's
you
very good.
remind me.
Oh yeah. No, I don't like that.
It's
Definitely
literally
overplayed.
the most overplayed song of the 2000s.
yeah, and I
decade.
don't like it.
Like I stick up for Nickelback every now and then, but I cannot.
I was actually going to bring
I cannot
that
get
up.
behind.
That's like
This is how
the
you
one
remind me.
song that at one time I didn't mind.
Yeah.
And then they just killed it. And I think that's how you remind me, I think is
But
like a
never
huge
made
part of
it
why like
surprise, man.
everybody
I can
hates
agree.
Nickelback now, not just the hipsters.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, I can agree with that because when I was younger, I still hadn't like developed a keen sense of music. So when I heard that, I was okay with it because it was new. And then the fact that it was overplayed, I was still even okay with it. But then more crappy Nickelback
Yeah, and
songs
then
came
more-
out, and then I was like going back and listening to that, I realized like, wow, dude,
Trash.
really bad.
Yeah.
These 5 words in my head scream, "Are we having fun? Yeah, 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 yeah."
All right. I got Summer of '69.
Got
I
actually
first
enjoy-
real
no, I-
six string.
I do agree. It's over. I love that song.
Yeah,
I want to.
fan.
All right, well, this is the thing, though. I'm going to say this. I'm just going to put this out there. There was a point in time where I was living in a suite in Mount Holly for roughly 13 months on Grant Street. Very small location. I was there for undisclosed amount of time, actually, for purposes not willing to be discussed here on the waves. But the only opportunity I had for music was a small FM radio that was run by 2 AA. And that song, when it came on, I was happy because it was like I knew there was some level of consistency of overplayed music and some were good. And that song, man,
so you're saying those were the
That
best
song-
days of your life?
those were the best days of my life.
Yeah.
back in the summer of '69.
I don't want to miss a thing. Aerosmith.
Definitely.
Not a fan.
Not
It makes me
definitely
wanna close
overplayed,
my
and
ears.
and I'm not a fan. And it sucks because I blame Armageddon, dude. I blame Armageddon.
Yeah.
I blame my
Well,
father.
I'm
for
not a
that
giant
shit.
fan of Aerosmith. to
All right,
begin
so-
with.
Their early shit's fine.
Do you go back and
Yeah.
listen to their self-title? You will become a fan of Aerosmith.
No. I like the older Aerosmith,
Yeah.
but like after like Dude Looks Like a Lady, I'm
Well,
I'm
yeah. I'm
lost.
still saying you listen to Toys in the Attic, the self-title. You know those are great albums. But yeah, that
Rocks.
song, Rocks, is excellent
Yeah.
too, man. But yeah, that song now.
Hotel California.
Overplayed, and I enjoy it still.
I love that
Still
solo.
enjoy it.
The solo in that song's insane.
Still a good song.
Disapprove. Way overplayed. Money by Pink Floyd.
I hate Money.
I approve, but it's overplayed.
My stance is, and most people who know me know this, is that's the weakest song on that. What was that album that was released? Had Eclipse on it.
Dark Parallelogram of the Moon or
Yeah.
something.
So that album,
Lights Out
not
of the
my
Sun.
favorite by Pink Floyd, close to, but that song is 100% overplayed, and I don't like it.
Money.
It annoys me. Annoys the
Yeah.
shit out of me, dude.
Yeah, by Usher.
Oh my god! All right, I was.
That's probably the most overplayed of all
Dude, that
time,
is like-
honestly.
that
Ludacris fills cups like double D's.
Yo, that was like the song of our adolescence. Though.
Oh, yeah.
Every school
I can't,
dance.
I can't deny it,
Dude,
dude.
yeah, you can't.
I
That's-
can't. I can't.
Well,
not
and I
approve.
probably have the runner-up after
What?
Ignition.
Oh,
R. Kelly.
Remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen.
mama rolling that body, got every minute of wishing I'm a pedophile.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna approve on that one. But it's way overplayed.
Yeah, taking everything out of the mix, I do approve of.
This is
that
before he was
overplayed
trapped
song.
in the closet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be okay with this.
Come on, Eileen.
Overplayed,
Disapprove.
especially at every
Yeah, I was never a fan
fucking
of that song,
wedding.
and it's always
The
I
best
played.
can't
part-
stand it, dude.
The best ever with that
Annoying.
song was in Tommy Boy.
Okay.
I don't recall.
You don't remember them singing that in the car?
Haven't seen it in years.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I remember them singing "It's the End of the World" and
It's
Black
in that
Sheep, I
same
think.
scene.
yeah, like really going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Forever Young, Rod Stewart.
I don't even know if that's super overplayed.
I hear it all the time.
I think it's because, I mean, the brief moments that I do listen to radio, I guess you could say that if I go back to when I was really listening to like 102.9 and stuff.
Oh wait, that's a
and I don't approve. I don't like it.
Forever
Samples that.
young.
Yeah, I don't like that song either.
Firework, Katy Perry. Way overplayed, right? I don't know. You guys didn't work at bars, so you might not have had to deal with like the recent pop mania.
This is the problem. Like I said, for those 13 months, I had nothing but an FM radio, so I
hate Firework.
very
Weakest Katy
subjective.
Perry song.
Katy Perry, she was all right on the first album.
Do you remember the other
terrible.
overplayed song? She had California Girl,
Yeah, that was
and then she had Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Remember Dark Horse?
Yeah.
I fucked with Dark Horse,
Yeah,
but
I like
everything
Dark
else,
Horse.
dude, nah, I couldn't get with it.
She's a beast. I call the karma. She eat your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer. Be careful. Try not to lead her on. Shorty's heart's on steroids because her love's so strong.
God damn, that is the gay
You may
shit
fall in
ever.
love when you meet her. If you get the chance, you better keep her.
Oh, man.
She's sweet as pie, but if you break her heart, she'll turn cold as a fever.
All Summer Long, Kid Rock.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, way overplayed. And
Dude,
I hate
that
it.
that makes me hate that and the song that it samples.
Ban
Yeah.
it out the bottle.
Oh, God.
Sing
He
Sweet
really
Home
killed
Alabama,
Werewolves in
song.
London for me.
It was like
And
a
Sweet Home
combination.
Alabama.
Yeah, he just mixed Werewolves of London. And,
Like, way to just kick Warren Zevon in the face, you fucking
those are-
douchebag.
Those are two overplayed songs and another overplayed song.
Werewolf.
It's like a
yeah,
fucking
add
triple
them in
threat.
there. Werewolves of London and Sweet Home Alabama. But here's the thing: both of those I still approve of.
Sweet
Home
I
Alabama,
could live without.
That's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
can
I
live
was going to
without it.
agree with that. I was just about to say that because the only time I'll really listen to Sweet Home Alabama is if I go to put on like Second Helping and I want to listen to the album, like Working for the MC5. Like, there's some good
the
songs.
Neil
on
Young
there.
shit. I just can't have it.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Mr. Young, sing about her.
Well, I hope Neil Young will remember.
A
Southern man don't need him around anyhow.
We're going to defend our racism till the end. And we don't need
This
anybody
Confederate
questioning
flag is just to
this
support
around here.
Southern pride. Anyway,
Boulevard of Broken Dreams by Green Day.
I walk this empty road.
horrible.
That
All right,
got
what
the
about
shit played out.
Wake
Yeah.
Me Up?
Yeah, that
What-
one too.
okay.
You can even go with all the singles.
Yeah,
off of
American Idiot,
Yeah,
everything.
all those
All
Every
of it.
single
got
from
garbage.
American
played
Idiot.
heavy.
Garbage.
Hated
Um,
American Idiot.
Yeah.
All about that bass. Megan Trainor.
Okay.
Way overplayed.
And I won't say approve or disapprove because I never
disapprove. I
really,
didn't like it.
I never really gave it a point of time where it
She's
bothered
bringing
me.
sexy back. All the skinny
Yeah.
bitches don't know how to act.
Yeah. What about what was that other fucking song by that what was that white rapper's name from Australia? What's her name?
Iggy
Iggy
Azalea.
Azalea.
What was the song?
I'm
so fancy.
Yeah, that was way
Fuck,
overplayed.
that is another one, dude. Oh, you ever hear her like freestyle? They call it like videos of her trying to
Oh
freestyle.
my God.
To prove
There
like,
was the
can
one where she
actually
was
rap.
like,
It's
she
terrible.
wasn't even saying words. She was like,
Yeah, she just like it's so bad. She was on like a live station too.
what an idiot.
Fucking ugh.
All right, I got two by Red Hot Chili Peppers. You can probably guess one.
I already
Californication.
I already disapprove
Really?
of both.
Other side?
Under the Bridge
God.
and Danny California.
Really? Because honestly,
Other side too.
I hear Californication and
Yeah.
By the Way
It-
more than Danny California.
I always hear Danny California. I feel like I can't escape.
I
it.
There's
hear
actually a
Danny
lot of
California a
Red
lot.
Hot Chili Pepper songs, but to me, and it's not even to be
Mhm.
biased because I like the Red Hot Chili
Yeah,
Peppers.
I approve of those
Californication
songs.
and Other Side, I could do without as much as they are
Other
on
side I
there.
could do without. I like
Yeah.
Californication.
It still rings true, but Other Side actually the radio kind of killed that for me, which
Same.
made that album hurt more. But yeah, Danny California never gets old for me. I just think that's such a good song, dude.
I like
The
the,
video's
solo
so
in it.
goofy too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've
Notice
got
that,
a feeling. Black Eyed Peas.
Oh,
I
I've
got
got a
a feeling.
Way overplayed.
Yeah.
Tonight's gonna be
And
a
boom
good
boom
night.
pow.
Yeah.
Boom boom pow.
What about what else do we have from that era? What else you got?
Womanizer, womanizer.
Uh,
That played
Oh,
pretty heavy.
yeah.
uh,
Um,
Lose Yourself by Eminem.
lose
that
yourself.
was way earlier, but
Yeah, but still, I mean,
Yeah, it got overplayed.
Do you remember
That's like the
when,
only Eminem song to truly get
you know
overplayed.
what was the greatest
though.
Yeah.
moment though of an overplayed song before it got edited was when Get Low played by Yin Yang Twins and Lil Jon on the radio before they realized what
Yeah.
skeet was. And it used to actually be on the radio. And then
remember
like
being a
Dave
kid.
Dave Chappelle came out on a skit and was like, that song played on the radio for God knows how long before these white people realized what skeet was. Like they were like, oh, this song's cool, skeet, 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 skeet. Like, I mean, that's pretty funny news. Like you're putting on a song before a word gets into the Urban Dictionary and they're literally playing fucking songs with that on there.
Well,
I mean,
it's
that's
also
awesome.
funny too because it literally that fucking song, the unedited version, the sweat drip down my balls. It's just like what?
How these bitches crawl.
It's just like
skeet, skeet, motherfucker.
it's just like did no one
I
understand
know,
this?
dude. I know. Like, what did they correlate skeet being? And at any
I think
point,
they just thought,
like, the word
they're just
skeet-
doing their thing.
like the
Who
word
knows?
skeet alone sounds like a verbiage for shooting a load of cum. Like that literally.
That's just them yin
Like
yang
skeet.
twins.
I was aware of the meaning of skeet at like age.
That's what I'm
10.
saying. I think even when I heard that, I'm like, that sounds pretty messed up. But the radio let this fly.
Yeah.
Like, did they not have any point in the meeting where they were like, all right, we're gonna put this on the radio. We're gonna edit motherfucker. We're gonna edit sweat dripping down my balls. Skeet, we're not sure what it is yet. We'll let that ride for a period of time.
Let's bring in our African American.
Yeah, and after like a month, they
Yeah.
were like, oh.
Let's bring in our
Skeet.
council here.
Can't have that on the radio.
Radioactive. Imagine Dragons.
All right, I'm gonna get started. We'll just move on.
Every Imagine Dragons.
Imagine
Yeah,
Dragons
every
song. What was the
Imagine
other
Dragons,
one?
yeah, major disapproval.
What was the other one?
I don't know.
There was
really
one before that.
I'm waking up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's Radioactive.
is it?
Yeah, that's
Oh
Radioactive.
yeah, you're right.
I'm
yeah.
waking
I don't
up.
listen to Imagine
Yeah.
Dragons.
Okay, but guess what, dude? The same way I know Nickelback lyrics
Yeah.
is the same way I know those lyrics because there's two
Yeah.
songs specifically that played all the time on the radio between like 2012 and 2014.
Speaking of artists that literally have a catalog of overplayed songs that we all disapprove of, Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah.
Every Taylor Swift song.
Happy by
I'm
Pharrell.
gonna have
way overplayed.
can't stand that song.
Yeah, same.
I liked it when it
Not
first
sta-
came out.
I don't know what's
It's like Walmart music.
I don't
Yeah.
know what it is about that song, but it's like it just fucking annoys the hell out of me. Like Pharrell's
In the
voice.
air, like I don't care, baby.
Like
by
Pharrell's
the
voice just
way.
triggers something in my brain in that song that makes me like want to hurt somebody.
I like
Um,
Pharrell.
What
but
about Boys of Summer by Don Henley?
No.
the Atari's
Disapprove.
version is way more.
Disapprove?
Yeah.
The Atari's
Yeah, what's
version is
the-
way more overapproved.
Okay, because
I
you want to
think
talk
way
about
more
like, you want to talk about like
overplayed.
retail music.
Yeah.
Boys of Summer by Don Henley would play all the time when I worked at
Yeah.
CBS, all the fucking time.
I hear the Atari's version all the time.
I
Yeah,
hear
I
it
hear
more
the
on the
Atari's
radio
version
now.
too,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I got the middle by Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah.
That
I
was
can deal
way
with that.
overplayed, but
I'm
I
good
don't
with that.
disapprove. Yeah, I'll
I'm good with that. Absolutely.
Everything off the Black album.
Yes.
All the singles at least.
Yeah, all the singles, definitely.
And then my final one, which I believe is the most overplayed song in history, All I Want for Christmas.
Mariah Carey.
Yep.
Yeah, if you bunch that into the small gap that it gets in the holidays,
It's
it's
just so
it's literally its own
saturated.
radio
Yup.
station, dude.
It's like once a day you hear it. It's like inescapable. And if you're driving,
And
God
it
forbid.
sticks in your head forever until the next Christmas season, and they're
Mhm.
aching until people are done Thanksgiving. To be
I
like,
got
you know what?
I got another one here. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
See, I think we kind of missed the period of saturation for that. Like, I
mean,
don't
so-
ever
I
still
remember
think-
hearing that on the radio.
So Connor,
too
I'm
much.
gonna be honest with you, man. I remember being, I believe, a sophomore into junior year of high school, and that was the exact reason why I refused to acknowledge Nirvana being a good band. I couldn't stand that song for a period of time because I was like, this is just so fucking annoying. But then you can talk about Don't Stop Believing being the end of The Sopranos and stuff. So what happened when you showed me In Utero and Incesticide, and especially like Bleach, like, you know, like Floyd the Barber and like other weird songs, like Milk It was like the change of pace for me for Nirvana. That song Milk It is really what like put me into Nirvana. And then I was able to go back and listen to Nevermind in its entirety. And then like even the fact with the way that album opens with Smells Like Teen Spirit, I was still okay with it. Like, cause now that song has like a different embedded root. Like I don't hear it as much as I used to, but that song, because it was so overplayed, was like, fuck Nirvana. I was like, seriously, I
Mhm.
couldn't stand Nirvana just because that's all I really knew was that and Lithium.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, Lithium's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And heart-shaped box. Okay, heart-shaped box is probably
another one.
worse for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Like,
heart-shaped
it's
box
all-
gets played a lot.
That shit's on like 104.5 every day.
All
Yeah.
the Nirvana singles get played a lot.
Well, I mean, it's cool
They get
sometimes.
played on their stations. You know
Yeah.
what I
It is
mean?
cool
Like, the
sometimes,
Stations
though.
are based around them, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they switched the whole radio format.
But then even sometimes, like for instance, like Foo Fighters will go out and play Everlong, the acoustic
Oh, yeah,
version, or
there's some Foo
Nirvana
Fighters
will
songs
play
that
like
they're definitely thrown
Dumb,
in the mix here.
the unplugged version of
Pretender.
Dumb.
Best of You.
All My
Yeah.
Life, Best of You, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. My
Yeah,
Hero
Monkey
and
Wrench.
Best of You by fucking Foo Fighters. Best of You, I cannot fucking
Yeah, but I feel
stand.
like Best of You and All My Life are probably the two most overplayed Foo Fighters songs.
Best of You,
Yeah.
I can't stand.
Maybe The Pretender.
Yeah, maybe The Pretender.
It's
Because The
just
Pretender
so
was a
annoying,
mega hit.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Best of You like really gets to like my core.
I
It
hate Best of
annoys
You.
the shit out of me.
I got another
Yeah, it
confession to make. Skip.
Yeah.
Or what's the Spotify tone? It's like, "Boop-doop."
Yeah.
Like it's funny because there's like a delay in the car, like
Yeah.
when the song will pop up on
That's
the
the
screen
same-
versus
yeah,
when
yeah,
it'll
yeah,
start, and like I'll see
See, I like Best of You.
Best of You. I
No
click
way.
skip, and then it'll
Can't,
like
dude.
I actually like that song.
how this happens is in my car it goes like whatever song screen changes the Best
Yeah.
of You, and then I click skip, and I always get I've got it.
The hope that
Bloop.
starts the broken hearts. You trust, you must confess. It's someone getting the best.
Like probably the first or
Dave
second
Grohl,
time I
ladies
heard
and
that
gentlemen.
song, I was like, this is a cool song. And then after I heard
Well,
it,
that's
for the
but that's what I'm
10,000th
saying. That's
time
like
in a
most
month.
songs that I've heard. Like even like Led Zeppelin 4 when Stairway to Heaven comes on, I'm just kind of fuck. Like it loses that appeal. Because
Best
even
of
Yeah.
You for me is like the last Foo Fighters single that actually has some heart and soul in it. Honestly,
Really?
everything after that,
Times like these,
that was before that.
was it?
Everything after Best of You was kind of like bland to me.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't hit as hard as he does on Best of You on anything after Best of You.
So let's put this in perspective then.
Give
I think we should say everyone should pick like one overplayed track that they don't mind, that they can
Okay.
continue to listen to, and then one that like literally just you want to just throw your whole radio out at that point.
All right. Throw radio out is Don't Stop Believing.
Fair.
Probably agree with We'll Never Turn It Off is Enter Sandman.
Really?
Yeah, like if I'm in the car, dude, like
You're
there's
not turning off Enter Sandman.
I'm just we didn't mention that. Okay.
like, dude, when that comes on the radio, like even though it's overplayed, like it still never gets old to me. Especially like if they start from the very beginning, I turn up the fucking radio because when
Yeah.
he comes in with those fucking doom, 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 doom,
yeah.
like it like shakes the fucking
yeah, it
car.
all
It's like-
depends on how loud you're listening to
Yeah,
it and the
and, like-
opportunity you have.
Like
yeah.
as the drums come in,
Makes
like
that
you
song
feel
that
like
much
your
better.
fist like clenching harder. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm about to fuck something up.
I was
I'm
actually
definitely,
mad.
getting into the,
Song.
I'm definitely changing into the left lane on this one.
I was
Definitely getting
actually
in the fast
This
lane.
8-cylinder better pick it shit up.
I was mad not too long ago driving in the car. Enter Sandman came on, similar thing. I was like, all right, I could do this right now. And
Yeah.
then like I turned it up and they had some like shitty compressed version of it. And when I turned it
Oh.
up, it was like terrible. I was like, what the fuck did y'all do?
Yeah, I on my Spotify I have the actual
The
one,
full
not-
dynamic
the
range.
full dynamic
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
not like the remastered or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Dude, the Black Album. The Black Album is one of those
That's
albums.
good production,
Yeah,
I think.
and like I put it into like the
For
same
what it
category
is.
as like AC/DC, like driving
Yeah.
music.
Yeah, it's like Back in Black of 91.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those albums.
I'll honestly take the Black Album over Back in Black.
yeah,
Oh, speaking of which, we can say that for shitty overplay
Yeah.
music.
Back in Black.
Yeah.
you
God
shook me
damn.
all night long.
All
Yeah.
of it.
Rock and roll. ain't
Shoot
always
the
pollution.
thrill.
Yeah.
Play the kill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Shoot the Thrill for me though, it's like
No,
another one of
Shoot
those
the
like
Thrill.
driving
Nothing
songs.
other than Hell's Bells, dude.
Hell's Bells is really fucking good.
It's the only song, man.
The riff makes
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And the drums kicking.
You sound like Bill
And-
like 30 seconds ago.
With what?
Enter Sandman.
Yeah, I guess. That's fair.
All right, so what do you got, Connor?
All right. One, I'm throwing the radio out is All I Want for Christmas.
Fair.
And one that I can stand. I guess Under the Bridge, Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Wow, that was yeah.
But I
right.
also forgot to mention earlier, every song by Billy Joel is overplayed.
Yeah. 100%.
Fuck Billy Joel.
So I'm gonna keep on the Journey kick. I'm definitely trashing my whole radio if I hear Any Way You Want It.
Damn, y'all hate Journey.
I really can't stand
I don't
it,
hate
dude.
Journey.
I
can't
really don't
hear
like
those
Journey.
songs.
I don't like
I
Journey.
hate Journey, but like
Any Way You Want It, the voice annoys me. It was between that or Best of You. But I'm also, because even though you took the band, but my song is definitely different. And the reason why I'm picking the song Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers, my fiance doesn't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It annoys me. I told her when they come and tour with John Frusciante, we're fucking going. That's neither here nor there.
yeah.
I'll buy 2 tickets and bring somebody else. If you don't come, I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, Becky can come hang out with me because I don't like Red Hot Chili Peppers
Yeah,
either.
it's either way. But when I remember we were on the radio and Californication came on, and I like turned it up a little bit. Just like, are you serious?
I like
I'm
the music video for
dude,
Californication.
it's just such a cool riff, and it's like soothing, and it never.
Scar Tissue's undeniable.
It
Yeah.
really is,
Beautiful song.
really is. But Californication is definitely my. I'm turning it the fuck up and enjoying the hell out of it. And yeah, anything by Bon Jovi or Journey.
Yeah,
I'll sell
Bon
my
Jovi.
car if I have to. Oh, and Limp Bizkit too. Anything by Limp Bizkit.
I don't
I
think
don't feel like
Limp
they
Bizkit
ever
was
got
overplayed.
played too much on the radio.
Nookie got
though.
played heavily for a
Yeah,
period of
Nookie
time.
did. Yeah.
No, My Way.
And My
That
Way.
too.
Yeah,
My
but they didn't really have
My
like,
Way.
yeah.
I'm thinking like if you say because like for instance like the song Yeah by like Usher and them, that song played from like 2002 like all the way till
Now
probably still today. Yeah.
it still gets played.
Yeah,
a
but
lot.
I'm talking about, you know, overplayed songs just for the moment. Like, yeah, Nookie and My Way. Played
Since we're in the
for
truth
heavy.
tree here, I have a confession to make.
When did we come up with the term, the truth tree? You say that we said it, but all right. Anyway, we're in the truth tree now.
Since we're in the truth tree here,
all right,
and I'm being completely transparent.
Yeah.
I was in the car the other day,
I'm waiting
and
for this one.
on my Spotify,
I know where it's going.
I have Rolling on,
I knew it.
and dude, I'm not gonna lie, I was like in that kind of mood, and fucking Rolling came on, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like,
You really
fucking-
got into it, huh?
I was like moshing in the front seat of my work van.
That's fine, Bill.
Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Like, dude, you can't tell me.
I'll get nostalgic over My
Yeah.
Way.
I can't, dude.
you
Nothing does
can't
it.
tell
I had
me.
that album when I was like
Nothing does
Chocolate
it.
Starfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing does it.
I'm telling you. I mean, for the point in time that it came out, Limp Bizkit was sort of ahead of their time in a sense.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
They were definitely hated. They were definitely hated for not a good reason. I mean, Fred Durst is an asshole, but like I don't think they deserve the amount of hate that they get.
Well, I don't even think they get as much hate anymore
Uh,
because they kind of phased out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just when you look back on it to discuss it, if someone brings it up.
Well, he
or
was just
listens
such
to
a
him,
like douche bro.
He really
like,
I think that's what it
dude.
was.
He's like lying about girls he banged.
Yeah,
and
he's like the
shit,
quintessential like tool bag.
Let me sit
Like-
next to Carson Daly and Fred Durst and hear them
But I like
argue
this
who
thing you're
shaved head
introducing,
to
like the
first.
truth tree thing.
Huh?
The truth tree thing.
I think every episode we
We
should
have a little
truth
truth tree moment. Yeah, my truth tree moment is I was trying to disagree earlier that I actually enjoy some Taylor Swift songs.
Which ones?
Really?
A lot of them, like Blank Space. I enjoy Blank
Wow.
Space.
It is
Is that the
overplayed.
one that's like
What was the other
Without
one?
writing your name,
What was the other one? Just name some songs. Hold on.
Romeo, take
No.
me, we don't have to be
Bad
alone.
Blood.
Not Bad Blood. The other one is, Came I out in Knew You Were Trouble. 2014, I want to say.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with that.
I mean,
song.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's
I knew you were trouble when you walked in. I'm surprised there hasn't been like a
Shame on me
hardcore
right
cover of
now.
that song
I
yet.
think they probably do. Like Blank Space does.
Yeah,
But and I talked heavily shit about that because the cover's fucking trash. But yeah, Taylor Swift going back, like there are moments, and it's the same thing with like Call Me Maybe.
yeah.
Like that song, how overplayed that was. There are moments where, depending on what I'm doing, I might just leave it on. It's goofy, it's
Yeah.
catchy, and Taylor Swift has that, and at least a better sense than most of those artists.
Yep.
I still don't like her majority of her shit, but for radio songs, yeah, my truth tree moment is I can enjoy a Taylor Swift song from time to time post Cannibal Corpse, I Come Blood.
My true tree, I guess, is fucking I'm Afraid of Americans. Like, even though he's a pedophile, I still want to listen to that song occasionally. David Bowie.
Okay.
Well, because it's a
Nice.
fucking badass song. Nobody can fault you for that.
Yes, Connor finally sucked into the David Bowie moment.
I'm not too sucked in. I sold all my David Bowie shit.
That's fine. You still have there's still a little piece of you. You're like Darth Vader and I'm Luke Skywalker. I know there's a good part of you left.
You're like
inside
Darth
you.
Vader. You're the one side with the fucking pedophile.
I'm trying
like
to-
Luke trying to break the shit.
I'm trying to find that little bit of you to understand.
You're trying
it.
to turn me
You
to
gotta
the dark
appreciate
side
the
and
music.
enjoy this hedonistic
Gotta
pedophilia
appreciate the
bullshit.
music. Nobody's trying to get you to like David Bowie or buy his shit. But if the song's on the radio, just take a listen.
I'm Afraid of Americans is a fucking good song.
It is.
I'm sorry. It's fucking awesome.
I attribute my liking of it towards Trent.
Yeah. I think that's
Okay.
why I like that song a lot too.
If Bowie did it by himself, probably wouldn't have been too great.
Mm. All right.
Well, that's the thing. Like that song
You needed
wouldn't
that
be
cutting edge from
yeah.
Trent.
That song wouldn't be what it is without Trent Reznor.
Fuck no.
All right, so that about wraps it up for this main topic. Last week, we suggested for you to watch Woodstock, 3 Days of the Defined a Generation, documentary on Netflix, supplied by PBS. Basically what this was is, it chronicles the time leading up to and after the Woodstock Festival in New York. Rotten Tomatoes gave this an 85%. Rotten Tomatoes audience score was an 82%, and IMDb gave this a 7.6 out of 10. There was actually a lot of stuff that I didn't know about Woodstock that I learned from watching this, and it was an hour and a half, but it was a quick hour and a half, a very good watch. I think out of this whole thing, man, I'm gonna have to give it a 7.5. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say 7.5 because I did learn a lot.
Yeah, I think 7.5 is a good number for me. Either like, there's a solid quarter of stuff that I'd probably watch more, like if I'd never seen it or whatever. But as far as documentaries go, it's pretty informative. It's entertaining,
And all the footage they had
Yeah.
was so awesome.
I was also going to say we're going to keep it right there in the exact same round because I'm going to say 7.5 as well. I was going to go say 7, but
Easiest
because
average of all time.
because I was going to say 7 just because a lot of it was what I already heard, but there were 2 moments that really, 3 moments. The hog farm,
Yeah.
the moment where the farmer from the Woodstock property came out and spoke and had this really great message, just appreciating everything that happened, but also the freak out tents. I thought that was
Yeah.
so fucking cool to know because I always thought about that, like how many people in such a closed setting are severely tripping. Like acid was like water back then.
Well, that falls
know?
into the hog farm thing because they're the
Yeah.
people that came up with that. Like
Yeah.
honestly, I'm gonna go out on a whim here and say without the hog farm, Woodstock would have been a fucking total nightmare.
Yeah, they were smart to bring those guys.
Yeah,
that whole
super smart.
entire fucking commune was just fucking perfect for that setting.
Yeah,
They kept the peace to the point of like
honestly, it would have been a train wreck within the second day if hog farm wasn't there.
Yeah, just to understand what a freak out tent was for all of those who understand or don't understand about hallucinogenic substances, pretty much these individuals would go to pretty much like an empty RV or a tent who were having bad trips and whatever, and like people would just come over to like soothe them and help them through the trip and like guide them through it because, I mean, you got to figure 250,000 people, and that's being super moderate just on the first day. Let's say 60% of them are fucked up on acid.
What I thought was
Could
cool
be a
was
terrible thing.
after they came out of the trip or they were like, able to like be normal again, sort of, they would say, like, as people were walking in, like, look, this is how you were 3 hours ago.
Exactly.
Why don't you go over there and help them?
Exactly. It's
and
really
it was
cool.
a community within
A community, the commune. I mean, and it was also too like seeing how they ran out of food and the people of the town
That
came
was
and
something
flew
else,
in.
too.
Yeah, flew in food. How Army sent over 45 trained nurses to help with dehydration and all the different medical things. I mean, these guys really, it wasn't a last minute thing because they lost the original location. But I mean, there was a lot of preparation that wasn't fully done.
It was
they made
controlled
it happen.
chaos.
It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. And to this day, it's the most notable live show concert venue in history.
Yep.
And so I mean, I think 7.5 is right on the money there.
Perfect. Well, we're a little bit below everybody else, but this is why you come to us for reviews. I mean, we're gonna give it to you straight. We're not gonna go, oh, it's Woodstock 90% or 9 out of 10. 7.5. I feel like is extremely fair.
Especially if you're familiar with Woodstock in general. I mean, because
Exactly.
there's nothing crazy new in this. It's good footage, some interesting, but it's not must watch this. I swear to God.
Yeah. If you're really into the history of Woodstock, this is definitely a movie to check out because, like we just said, you can learn a lot more than you didn't know before, but it's not an essential watch to be able to understand the history that is Woodstock. The reviews here, Christy Lemire from Film Week says it brings a freshness to a story that we've heard a million times. That's extremely true.
It's very accurate.
Then Leah Pickett from the Chicago Reader says this film offers a moving remembrance of the people, music, and extraordinary circumstances that align to produce a cultural touchstone. Once again, I agree. So, yeah, you heard it here. 7.5 out of 10, 75%. However you want to go about it, that's that. Let's roll into our personal suggestions for this week.
Suggestion of the week.
You look like you're ready, Steve. What do you have?
So I'm gonna recommend the live album from 1987. The album is called Tribute, the Ozzy album it's a compilation.
Nice.
Yeah, of like Randy Rhoads throughout his time. There's a couple Black Sabbath re-recorded songs. The song I'm gonna stand out though is Suicide Solution, because it's a 7-minute version of it with Randy Rhoads' solo. I mean, it's just excellent fucking time of Ozzy Osbourne. I just wanted to bring him back into the light to, because we're talking about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame not being introduced as a solo artist. But if you limit out all his work that he did as a solo artist, I mean, you're missing out on a whole bunch of shit. And this album alone, just hearing like Ozzy in his absolute peak right before, the Zakk Wylde era and everything. But this is just a great fucking album.
Exactly.
Tribute, Ozzy.
What do you got, Connor?
I got REM's 1987 B-sides and rarities album, Dead Letter Office.
Good stuff.
Released 5 months before Document. This was kind of a way for them to help tie up loose ends since they were switching from their indie label in the 80s, IRS, to Warner Brothers for Green, which would come out after Document in 88.
Do you like Green?
Yeah, I like Green.
You like Green?
Mm.
Okay.
It's probably my least favorite album.
I was going to say,
in the 80s, but it's still good.
Reckonings.
It features 3 covers from Velvet Underground, Femme Fatale, There She Goes Again, and Pale Blue Eyes. They covered Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic, King of the Road by Roger Miller. It's got some good Peter Buck liner notes inside, and it features the CD version of the album features their first EP, the Chronic Town EP, which is the only availability of that EP on CD.
Oh, wow.
So,
What's your highlight track?
the Pylon cover, the song Crazy.
Okay.
It opens the album.
Nice.
Yeah.
My personal suggestion for this week, I don't believe I've ever recommended this album before. The album is Sacrament. The artist is Lamb of God. My standout track is Walk With Me in Hell.
That is the Black Album of Lamb of God albums.
I understand, but there's no denying. First off, there's no denying on how good Lamb of God was at this point in time, how good the songs were on that album, and the fact of the breakdown and Walk With Me in Hell. Like, that sells that song for me.
Let me ask you a question, though, just an honest opinion.
Yeah.
If you had to choose between Sacrament and Ashes of the Wake.
Ashes of the Wake.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy every Lamb of God album. I think they're one of those bands, in my opinion, that hasn't put out anything that was legitimately bad. And I'm excited to hear what they have coming forward in the future, especially with the departure of Chris Adler and, the emergence of Art Cruz as the drummer. I'm excited to hear what they're coming out with next. I don't feel like Sacrament is their best album.
Yeah.
I feel like Sacrament is probably the easiest album to get somebody into Lamb of God. That's Sacrament to me.
I think it's also depending. Like, for instance, I have a friend that's like super core, more to the core side, and I'm more to the traditional 90s side.
Yeah.
And Ashes of the Wake appeals to me, whereas like Sacrament appeals to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously everything before that, like As the Palaces Burn and stuff like that. But
yes.
Yeah, like if someone showed me Ashes of the Wake, I'd be like, fuck yeah. As opposed to if they show me Sacrament first, I'd be like, because like Redneck kills it. Like,
I'm not a giant fan of Redneck.
Yeah. But like, for instance, him, like he'll go to Sacrament before Ashes. Like we differ in that a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, you heard it here. Walk With Me in Hell by Lamb of God off the album Sacrament. In my opinion, I think that song kicks some serious fucking ass. And if you don't like it, then fuck you. No, I'm kidding.
But seriously, fuck Billy Joel. Yeah, just whatever.
Our group suggestion this week is to check out the documentary on Netflix called Sample This. The director is Dan Forer. This documentary traces the impact of the incredible bongo band song Apache, which played a key role in the birth of hip-hop after Kool Herc began sampling it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So, that once again, this is another episode in the books. Thank you so much for listening. The next episode you will hear is going to be in our new studio, office, bedroom, whatever you want to call it. Once again, You can catch us on our social medias.
Bigger, faster, stronger, new studio.
You can catch us on our social medias, Instagram and Twitter at RATM Podcast, Facebook.com/RATM Podcast. And as always, you can get us on our email for submissions, questions, reviews, criticism. We're big boys. We can handle it. This is the Truth Tree.
This is the Truth Tree signing off.
This is the Truth Tree. That email
Shit is so corny, but it's gonna stick. I know it.
Yup.
Truth Tree moments.
This yeah.
Let me ask you, where did you hear that?
What, the Truth Tree?
Yeah, has that been? Who said that to you? It's like, did Dad say that to you as a kid? Like, what is that? Where
No,
did that
actually,
come
it's
from?
funny. I don't know if you ever seen the show or even heard of it on Discovery Channel, Street Outlaws, the
I
reality
think
show
I've
about
heard
street
of
racing.
it. Yeah.
Well, back a while ago, the two characters from that show, Big Chief and Sean,
Okay.
they did their own podcast, which has now been defunct and they don't do it anymore.
Okay.
But when they would talk shit on people,
Yeah.
when they would have guests in, they're like, listen, this is the Truth Tree. You could say whatever
Oh my
you
god!
want.
Because you said it like, just like, let me get in the Truth Tree, and you said it like you've said it before. That was
Yeah.
the first time I've ever heard
Dude,
it.
it was just funny.
That's
'cause,
great. All right, that's
you know,
gonna-
they've
that's gonna
had
wind up
guests on,
sticking.
and they're like, "Well, I don't really want to say this with this guy." And they're like, "Listen, you're in the Truth Tree. Everything you say here is fine. It's never going to go past us."
Just in case we have copyright issues, we'll call it the Honest Hut.
the honest hut.
Yeah, the Hut of
But-
Honesty.
But the email you can get to us on to tell us whatever you think, your criticisms, your band submissions, your song submissions. You want to argue with us, you want to come on our show, ratmpodcast@gmail.com. But once again, this is Rage Against the Mainstream signing off for the evening. I'm Bill.
I'm Connor.
I'm Steve.
Have a good night, guys. Thanks for listening.